What we have here is a small selection of tiles that have been made for digital dominoes, and what we see is two players and their tiles. The blank tile is a starting tile, and the first person to play would be somebody who can have a tile with a blank that matches up. So in this case, we're going to take the truth table for a NOT gate, and the next player has that symbol, which is this one right here, triangular shape, and he will play that one next. So obviously the next player has to have a selection that has a 2-input AND gate, and he has two choices. He can either have an OR and an AND, or he can have two AND gates. So it's really his choice on which one he wants to play. In this particular case, we'll make it a double AND. The other player has now choices as well, as they can play an AND and an or they could play an AND with a blank. So in this particular iteration, he'll be a little crafty and use an AND with a blank. So the person at the bottom of the screen has no tile to play and would have to pick up a new one. If he had played the opposite, the bottom player could have played with an OR and an and the last player would play the last tile. We can play an alternative version of the game where we still use the blank tile, and we instead, in this case, use an AND and a blank. Now the second player has some choices now, and they may choose to play the simple game, allowing the other to perhaps play a tile with an AND and an OR. This person plays this. We have an AND to an AND. The upper player would have to do a pass and pick up a tile. And in this case, the bottom player plays the truth table, and now the opposite or top player has to find a blank tile to complete this as well. So we see with digital dominoes that you have to be able to recognize the symbols, but we can also introduce some strategy and an understanding of how the truth tables go with the symbols to complete this game. We could also add iterations in where the symbols are colored in different colors, which would provide yet another layer of complication to the game, which is a form of competition while also learning.